You don't use it often, but when you do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's all caught up, so should be a couple hours. So what our plan is, you know, we're gonna open another 45 minutes.
Get it?
We're just gonna take out 6 feet of that base. It's already, yeah, so we're 6 feet out. Yeah, we looked at what the pipe was, okay, you kind of talk. You got holes in there, and I'm not really sure what that culvert is, it's all laid
They
over.
were,
Yeah,
where the open.
yeah, and then that way the debris can get caught up in the.
Maybe the best of lines.
Welcome to the Town of Alexandria Board meeting for September 21st, 2022. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Need a motion to pay the bills. Motion by Sean,
I'll make the motion.
Okay, I will second that.
seconded by Mike. Any discussion?
Yes, the 3 bills that got submitted, for Dale Ramo as his assessor pay, there's no hours to those, which I think we said we were gonna request. So, the other thing, his traveling arrangements for the conference should be split between us and the town of Orleans.
How many of those are there that should be split? Was there
There's 2.
2?
Yes, yeah. I mean, right on the registration summary, it says municipality, town of Orleans.
Right.
So, you know, serves 2 purposes, so that would be my only,
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem if they resubmitted at 50%.
right, yep,
And then the other bill with the hours as we had decided
yeah.
prior.
Okay. Okay. Any other discussion? So, you
Approving
want
everything except those 3 bills, right?
Yes,
everything except for the 3, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we got a motion to pay all the bills except for these 3 bills right here that we just spoke about. And we've had discussion on, any more discussion?
nope,
All those in favor of paying everything except for these 3 signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. All those opposed? None. Motion to approve the minutes. Don has been working on these minutes. I think that, you'll see we have 3 different, sets of minutes here in front of us. I have been,
I haven't looked at them.
I've been through the 3. August 17th and 22nd and June 15th are the 3 that I've been through.
I haven't been through these yet,
No, there's like 7 of them.
yeah,
So you want, we'll wait on these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this table.
I've been trying to get our, website updated with Donna on getting these things, approved and up there. She's got quite a few that she's working on now, so.
yeah, there's quite a
We'll
few
hold
in
off
here.
We'll hold off on those, okay? Privilege of the floor. Anybody like to speak? Yep.
I would. My name is Chris Rupp. I live on Limestone Road, and I'm sure you folks are aware I sent you a letter regarding the removal of my tree by the town's highway department. My maple tree. As you can see, if you drive by Limestone Road, probably can't get your hands around, and there's a 8-foot piece stuck out of the ground. As I stated in my letter, which you know is probably 4 pages long, I'm pretty disappointed at the removal of that tree. I understand the town has its, town supervisor of the highway has his priorities to remove the trees, don't dispute that, but I do dispute the town taking 90% of my tree and the firewood and making them unavailable to me, nor recoverable. And the questions that I have with the town's highway department using a contractor to remove the wood and then supposedly dumping it in the brush pit, which I thought that the brush pit was closed to contractors. Followed up a week later, I saw the contractor in there again dumping wood, which also leads me to believe if the contractor took the tree and the town paid him, would he be available to dump that in the town brush pit, or would he not, would that wood not become his wood and his problem? Also, if the contractor's paid to remove the tree, why do they not remove the whole tree? Across from my driveway, there's another 6 or 7 foot tree along the side of the road that was removed about 2 years ago, and the trunk is still left there, but the whole tree was gone. Same tree service, I believe, took the wood. I don't know. It's an issue to me, as you know, in my letter, and I'm still waiting to get my wood back. Haven't heard any responses from anybody on the questions that I posed in my letter. I think those are just questions that a normal person would have when the government comes and takes their property without any type of compensation.
The highway superintendent got a hold of me and he wanted to replace the firewood.
Yeah.
And I had talked with you about it a couple times, and you had expressed to me that you weren't interested in having that wood replaced
No.
initially. Or they couldn't replace that type of wood.
They couldn't replace my wood
Yeah.
because he said the wood went to the dump.
Yeah.
Which led me to do some thinking about how one operates and the contractor and all that, which leads me to believe that, you know, I have some questions about whether my wood actually made it to the dump or not. Since I live near the dump, drive by it every day, and I can count on one hand the number of times I've seen people cutting wood in the stump dump over the last 15 years. So I'm still waiting for my wood. And I know the town highway department is different from the town board, but the town is still responsible for the replacement of my wood.
And you had said how much wood you thought it was?
Face,
Three
face
to
cord?
4 face cord.
3 face cord?
Yeah.
Well, if you want, I'll talk to the highway superintendent about that and see if we can get you three face cord.
I mean, I'm not looking to make an issue, but it is an issue to me, and as well as a lot of people in the community who burn wood and
Yeah.
have the town come and take their wood. I mean, New York State's already trying to outlaw burning wood. Now we gotta deal with wood disappearing without even the property owner being notified. I understand there's a lot of absentee landowners around here, you know, I get it, but my driveway is right there, works for the town, has access to the assessment maps and knows who owns what. A knock on the door, as I said, Nelson's Tree Service came up 2 days prior to that, told me they're gonna be in the area cutting wood. My wife heard the chainsaw, she thought it was Nelson's, didn't think anything about it. But,
Yep.
you know.
Okay.
What can we do to prevent it from happening again in the future?
Hopefully the
Nobody, you know, from what,
No.
I can't remember everything about your letter, but I do recall a couple of things. One is, the tree was on your property.
There was
Right.
about 8 inches of road incursion into my tree, which is, how many inches in diameter?
It's easily 3 feet.
Yeah, 3 feet in diameter, so.
Okay, but, so, but
Tree this
no,
big.
no,
Go ahead.
nobody came and said, hey, we're gonna cut this tree down and, I don't know what, is it like in your, it's next to your driveway, so it's
No,
obviously.
it's about 100 yards up from my driveway.
Okay,
on
so
my-
it's not like right in front of your house?
No.
Okay.
But it's a big tree, especially
Okay.
for me when I burn wood, you know, I'm like, man, that's a lot of wood.
But it kind of troubles me is nobody came and said, hey, we're gonna
Nobody
cut this
came.
tree down.
The tree fell down, the wind blew a branch off, I went up, cleaned it all up, took the wood, cause I'm not gonna leave wood on the side of the road.
Okay, again, I don't know where this is, but it's mowed around it?
No, it's
No,
along
it's
the
not
edge of the
mowed.
road.
It's just wood.
It's uninterrupted, along the, I mean, it's right
Okay.
along the driveway. But nobody came and said, hey, we're gonna take a tree down.
Okay.
Do you want the wood, do you not want the wood, you know, do you care, just an FYI.
Okay, again, I don't know exactly
Yeah.
where, I've been up and down Limestone, I don't know exactly where this is, but it's always, where I worked anyways, we contacted the property owners before we cut down a tree on their
Well,
property.
so does the
Or even
county.
if it wasn't on their property, we still talk to them.
Yeah.
And it's kind of surprising, that's all.
Yeah, it's surprising in the fact that I can't get my wood, and went to dump the next day, and conveniently, there was no wood in the dump of mine, except for the 2 big pieces that aren't prime wood, which I would have taken, but that were there, but everything else was dumped from brushed oak, bulldozed in, except for the 2 big pieces. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Think about it commonsensically. which, you know, as you saw in my letter, you know, then I was told that, you know, some people get free wood. Now here we go giving wood away. Like, what are we doing? It's not the town's wood.
Well, we shouldn't be doing that anyways.
So you were told that the town sometimes gives out the wood?
Yeah, town gives out the wood to indigent people.
We should be doing that anyways, because people buy it.
By the highway
Who told
superintendent.
you?
Mike
Highway
Tibbles.
superintendent?
Highway superintendent. You mentioned one person in specific, but I'm not gonna mention, but I will mention offline, but, you know, who I know is not indigent. And,
I see two things. First thing is that we need to talk to our highway superintendent, we need to make sure that we talk to the landowner of every tree we cut down first. I think you got other companies doing that.
That's an easy one.
That's a no-brainer. And the second thing I see is, we need to establish a policy for what happens with the firewood.
Right.
Because this firewood didn't go to the, from what I'm hearing, it didn't go to the brush
you
pit.
go to the homeowner.
The person that owned the tree didn't get the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said in my letter, I'm not looking to make a bureaucracy out of this.
Yeah.
I mean, dead elms along the side of the road to fall in, who cares? But when you have a 3-foot diameter, you know, circumference tree, that's pretty tall, and, you know, the county or the town only has an 8-inch incursion to a 30-inch, you know, diameter tree. That's my wood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
that's why I'm here. I'm just kinda upset that my wood's gone.
Yep.
We'll talk to him and see about getting you 3-phase cord of wood delivered to your place.
All right, no
We'll
issue.
be in touch with you, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? For public concerns? Okay. Start on the agenda, moratorium filing status. So as everybody knows, we did a local law to do a moratorium. We had a public hearing. We passed everything, and the papers got sent to New York State. I think I told everybody it was a couple days ago they got sent. And it's within the time period, so that we should be getting a notice from New York State that it's been filed.
Okay.
And Andy said as soon as he got that, he'd forward that to us. That's where we stand on that. Town engineer report, Rob.
A couple of things. So Brent and I had a call with the Department of State.
Irene.
Irene Holick with the Department of State on the Goose Bay work, you know, both the parking lot and the boat launch. And, we first of all, we had asked for a waiver because there's no in-water work between March 15th and July 15th. And so we had asked for a waiver from the DEC to do that work. Because DC builders can't get there this fall because of all the other work they have, but they can get there in the spring. And the DEC, we got an email back that the DEC would grant the waiver, but reluctantly so, okay? But they understood, right? For 3 weeks, at the end of a boat launch, they allow it to happen, and they were gonna draft the waiver. Irene Holick with the Department of State doesn't want the DEC to draft the waiver. I think that's clear, and would rather have the boat launch work done in the fall. So she understands that the town doesn't want the boat launch taken out of commission, you know, until after Labor Day, right? You know, July 15th isn't the time to take that boat launch out, and you know, you're gonna disrupt it for a month probably. So instead of doing the work when ice comes out, like we had planned, and the DEC said we could, she doesn't want us to do it until after Labor Day next year. I don't understand the rationale, other than, I don't know if the fact that you have an LWRP has anything to do with it or not, because that's a DOS, obviously, sanctioned piece, but, so, that doesn't mean we can't do the parking lot. I haven't talked to DC builders about it, or that doesn't mean we can't write back to her and say, we'd really like to still do it in April when the ice goes out, get it over with. So, I don't know how you feel about it, but.
She just seems so against the deal in the spring.
Yeah.
Everything she said, plus a couple of those letters of great hesitation, they said, and all kinds of stuff, and I just think, wow.
But the
They're gonna be-
DEC are the experts when it comes to the
The fish-
environment, right?
Yeah.
And
So I guess
she's-
conflicting reports.
Yeah, so the experts are saying it's okay as far as the environment goes, and DOS is saying, no, it's not.
Right.
And does she cite something specific why they know more than the DEC?
I'd request it,
Yeah,
it still happened in
why
the
not?
spring.
Yeah,
Here. So we could write a letter that the town board discussed it, would like to pursue it in the spring and see what she says, push back.
yeah.
I don't know where it's gonna go.
Any way to appeal her decision?
Yeah, I think you can.
I don't think it's a formal decision on her part.
No, it was her.
Suggestion, want,
Yeah.
whatever you wanna call it, but
Yeah,
I'd say we just end up with what you just said, we just appeal, we say we gotta have it done in the spring, we gotta have it done before our season, and that's what we gotta have.
Yeah,
and if we split the parking lot and the boat ramp up, that means DC
gotta
DC
mobilize
Village got
twice.
mobilized twice.
Not fair to
which
him.
doesn't- No, exactly.
Thank you for your concern, but we'd still like to do it. You know?
I can help draft a letter for your signature.
Draft a letter, let's initiate another conference call, that's a lot of fun. I'd just soon do it on a conference call, get it over with, because if we start doing this letter deal,
Yeah,
we're gonna be another month
I
or
know,
two.
it's crazy. Okay, I'll
So-
set it up,
So, first of the week, let's do a conference call
Yeah.
there and just turn it around,
get it done.
and see how that works.
Cause Orleans is in the same boat, you know, they got Fisher's Landing, they want, their boat ramp's all torn up, you know, it's just gravel. They wanna get theirs done in the spring too, so we're asking for the same waiver. We asked for yours first to see if they grant it, and when they emailed us back, said they would, reluctantly so, but they would grant it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see if I can set something up.
I mean, I got a little bit worried about it because of a lot of the words that I saw in the letter, the hesitant, didn't want to, and so on and so forth. And that was, the DEC was hesitant, correct?
They were hesitant, but said they would grant it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well then let's go in that direction. Okay. Do you have anything else, Rob?
Not really, you know, we still haven't heard from the DOT on Route 12 sewer. I think we contact them one more time, and if we can't get a response out of them, we go ahead and bid it next month. I think now's the time to start bidding work for next year, so I think we ought to go ahead and put it out on the street now, because we know we're gonna need some amount of extra money to do that project, so we need to know the numbers. So I think we can go ahead and bid it in October, or early November, and get it done, so we can get the numbers back. So there's that piece. Other than that, I don't have much. The Goose Bay, Butterfield Lake Pavilion, we did talk to DEC about putting the pavilion on the shore, and they like the idea of setting, you know, a half a dozen 6-inch pipes and putting the pavilion on that. And so we're gonna write a formal letter to them, asking them, making sure it's okay with them to do that.
Department of State have anything to say about that?
I don't think so, I don't know.
It's gonna take care of our pavilion problem.
And then the
Our
pavilion will be
floating pavilion is becoming a permanently mounted pavilion,
Yeah, right on the shore.
but right there where it was meant to be. Because I know that
Yep.
they've talked, the people who donated it have talked to us quite a bit, they're okay with it being there.
The only other thing is the shoreline at Mud Lake, you know, that, the riverbed where it washed out, Mike's guys have been working on that. I was over there a week ago, and they
Worked on it today, all day, so.
did they? I know they're coming along, so that'll be taken care of before.
That it?
That's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Okay. Zoning officer, North.
Okay, for the month of August, gave out 12 permits, making it 75 year to date. 3 subdivisions, making 19 for the year to date. 1 variance granted, making 20. None denied. Site plans, we had 2, making it 9. Nothing in special use. 6 violation letters, making 29. Court cases, they just haven't acted on it because they didn't like our, junk law. Lot line, there was none, we're at 4. And foils, we've done 10 of them.
Okay.
And the amount of money that we took in for the month was $1,980.
Okay. Thank you, Norris.
Yeah.
Number 4, Light Up Pluses, Kim Carnahan's here to talk to us about, she and Tim, have been working on this Light Up Pluses program that they've given us a presentation. There's a folder here for us if anybody wants to see it, but I'll let her go through it.
Okay. Well, thank you for allowing me to present here. Tim unfortunately could not make it tonight because of work issues, so he asked me to stand in his stead. Tim has worked very diligently. He's a long-time member of Plessis, born and raised. Myself, born and raised here in Alex Bay, and I've lived in Plessis for over 40 years. So he asked me to kind of be the figurehead for this project. It's called Light Up the Community. And what it's about is actually the communities of Plessis, Redwood, and Clear Lake. All those 3 small hamlets, which fall under the auspice of the town of Alexandria, are really starting to come forth as tight-knit communities. And we want to continue that by establishing and asking the board to put in your budget to have some like Christmas decorations posted on the telephone poles. Now Tim has done extensive research. I'm sure Brent has looked through. He has even given you the pole numbers as to which ones have electric running to them, lights that could be utilized. He's even talked with, I believe, the highway department in regards to, they're the ones that put up the brackets and the American flags that run through Route 26 and Route 3 in Plessis. And so what we're really asking is to afford those 3 hamlets the same opportunity to have that community spirit and that community involvement as what you have here in Alex Bay. We are all contributing tax members, to the tax basis for the town of Alexandria. And we really, especially after the last 2.5 years of COVID pandemic, where people have been isolated, communities have been isolated, there's been that resurgence of community and people wanting to get together. So Tim and myself and other people have been working about wanting to, at Christmas time, have like, a community tree lighting ceremony, bring back the Santa Claus, giving gifts to the children in the communities and things like that. So I know that there must be line item, in your budget for like the decorations and things that you already have in place through Alex Bay. So we're asking you to take a look at this proposal. There again, we don't have like a solid dollar amount, only because of the fluctuation of depending, what company you might get them from, exactly, whether they're all light up or they're banner. But a personal story, when the town of Alexandria put in the flags along Route 26 going into Plessis, I remember that day that I was driving into Plessis and I noticed it. And I got such an overwhelming feeling of civic pride because it was like we were noticed and we became part of a larger community. And it really brought a lot of people together thinking, wow, we're not a forgotten little hamlet, 5 miles away, but that we are under the big umbrella of the town of Alexandria. And so I would really like, you to go over what Tim has put together here. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact him or myself. But we really feel that this is super important, especially in the wake of the pandemic. Let's get our communities back together. Let's start bringing, more things into each of these communities and making it feel more like, a community, an all-inclusive community, and not just a separate thing here and there. So I know that I worked hard and diligently as the Hearts for Youth Program Director for 10 years, bringing in, the Plessis Playground Project, and all of these other things. And I would like to see, you know, the hamlets of Redwood, Plessis, and Clear Lake, being able to be brought into that fold as well. So thank you for allowing me to present. You know, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.
Okay. And you can, as far as, Tim, some of his questions and things that he had talked to me about, we're having budget sessions. We have a couple budget work sessions a week now.
Okay.
And I've put it on our agenda to discuss, funding
Right, okay.
possibilities for what you're talking about.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Except for Clear Lake, there's a lighting district in Plessis and in Redwood. It'd be relatively easy to use the lighting district.
And I think at Clear Lake, you would notice
Because
in
that's where
that
the power is coming from anyway.
there's only like, I think, 2 or 3 streetlights, you know, going into that road. And there's only, I think, a couple that have, you know, power to them. So that's in there. And there'll be petitions in there as well. 205 signatures were put in place between Plessis, Redwood, and Clear Lake, wanting this kind of project, you know, to bring together the communities.
Definitely, he's done a lot of work.
He has.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Advertise deputy town clerk office hours, I just wanted to make sure we're putting this in the TI Sun every week. Our office hours are Mondays and Tuesdays from 8 to 12, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 12 to 4. I just want to repeat that, and we'll keep advertising it so everybody knows. We still have people coming that aren't seeing the advertisement or don't know, so we spread the word as fast as we can. That's what we plan on keeping them for a while. Appoint deputy town clerk with signing privileges. I'm waiting to hear from Attorney Silver about that, because it looks like we're gonna have to do a local law, but we can do a simple local law. That is, I just was told about, there's different types of local laws. We can do a simple local law which takes less advertising, that will allow us to have a deputy town clerk that does not follow the residency requirement. That's our big thing we're trying to get over right now. So I hope to have more answers from Andy tomorrow on that. I also had a conference call with the Associated Towns lawyer, Lori, and she said the same thing. She's kind of the one that gave us the idea that we can do this local law that way. That's kind of where we stand. I was hoping that we would do an adjourned meeting and maybe meet again. There's a couple other things on here in a week from tonight, or today, at 4 or 6 o'clock next week, but we can talk about that as we go on here.
And that would be, we can address it at that time?
Yeah. Yeah, there's another item in here that we have to address too, which I'll see when I come to it.
Number 7.
Okay. Report from the Water and Sewer Committee.
Okay, I think I could
Combine that with the next one?
Yeah. That's okay, but
Great.
a couple different things. Well, first thing, one of my committee members with me, Sandy Caputo, I'm gonna just read the stuff that we talked about, and then talk about some other stuff, but I jump in anytime. Okay, just, I don't know if you recall, a couple of meetings ago, Tina Barrett came here and was talking about her bill and had questions on it. Well, we had previously spoken to her husband, and the situation that they have is they have an apartment building with 4 meters, and each meter is 1 EDU, so he's got 4, not 5. But anyway, kind of explained to him, if you took those 4 meters out and replaced them with a single meter, then you would drop down to 2.5, which would be an instant savings for you. And Jamie actually went out and spoke to him a couple times, and he didn't really say yes or no, or wasn't, I don't know if he was just not interested. And then she came and did this, but anyway, I guess they have decided that's what they're gonna do, and that's what they are going to do, right?
It's already been done.
It's done, now you just
It's
need
done.
a motion to change.
Right.
their use.
So we're gonna change it from 4 EDUs to 2.5. Okay, so I don't know if we need a motion.
Do we have
or
to do
does that
this
be in the
for every
minutes?
individual, or
No,
don't our,
here's the situation, we don't need to do it, it doesn't need to be a motion because you're following your ordinance.
right, yeah.
But the thing is that no one should go into Nicole and tell her to change something.
So that's what we're doing.
That's not her thing. That should be someone making the board aware and Jamie confirming that, yes, these changes have been made, and now his bill is gonna go from a 4 to a 2.5, which obviously will affect budget a little bit, you know, for next year, but it just needs to be made aware of that this is happening, so that Nicole isn't doing things on her own, and the board needs to be aware of it.
It's in the minutes, just us mentioning it right here now.
Yep, it needs to be in the minutes.
Okay, so that's the first one. The other one, everybody knows Swan Bay Car Wash opened up. We got an engineer's report and did the math backwards, kinda see what the EDU would be based on how we measure them. And I don't know what it was, but it was probably greater than 10. But we decided, or our committee, so.
Based on actual water consumption?
Yes, that's what, the ideal situation, you know, if everything is, you know, they're 100%, you know, working at their peak capacity, all that kind of
12
stuff.
months. 12 months.
Yeah. So, but what we decided would make more sense to start them off as 3 EDUs. We have a water meter out there.
Is
on
a
that.
separate meter just to the car wash?
Yes.
Okay,
And after a year's time, we'll have actual numbers.
okay.
And then we can actually make an informed decision on actual numbers, as opposed to speculated, which could be way beyond what they actually end up using. So, our committee kinda came up with 3 was a reasonable number. So, I'm just.
Cause I think the 3 big bays are seasonal, and the smaller ones are year-round.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everything else too. You know, if it's new, people get all excited and they go out there and use it a whole bunch, and then it's there for a while and it kinda drops off, and then it'll be whatever it is. But we don't know what that is yet.
So one of the issues that we stumble upon a lot is communicating this to them. So who's
Well, that's what I'm doing, I'm communicating.
talking, has someone called Ms. Butcher up there, let her know that?
We've spoken to them as well.
Okay, yeah, that's what, okay.
And they're okay with this as well.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, there's that. The other is, I don't know if you can picture in the same Swan Bay, you got the campground in the back, and you got the car wash, and then to the left of the car wash, there's a separate piece of property, an out parcel that he's got, I think he's got a for sale sign on it. There's no water or sewer to that property, but it's within the water and sewer districts out there, so we're proposing a 0.5 cap unit for, you know, capital, you know, so they're you know, they're in the district, they can hook up at some point in the future, it's only up to them, but
That's
up.
standard, right?
Well, that's, the way we gotta do it is, if you're hooked up, it's 1. If you can be hooked up, it's a half. If you can't be hooked up at all, you know, you're in a swamp or the tiny piece of property, it's a 0. So that's where the half comes from.
And that's a separate parcel, tax map parcel.
Yep. Yep.
It's not part of the larger Swan Bay.
No.
So what do they call them, build outs?
Well, it's an out parcel.
Out parcel.
Okay. Next one's, IRLC has contacted us several times wanting to hook up to the Redwood Sewer. They're outside the Redwood Sewer District, but they're right next to it. I was kinda talking to Rob about this, we have a little bit further situation, you know, my next one I kinda bring up, but this is a topic that we have, that we have parcels that would like to be connected but are not in the district, but rather than do an outside user, which can get really screwy over time, is just to amend our boundaries to include them. Now, our current ordinance, on hookups like this only cover, you know, all the actual hooking up, all the pipes, the sewer pot, the actual pump, all the power and everything like that is a responsibility of the property owner. There's no hookup fee mentioned at all. And that's something we as a board, really need to kind of talk about. We don't want it so high that it discourages people from wanting, you know, more customers is better. There's no doubt about that. But we also need to acknowledge the fact that they're coming on to a system that people have been paying for, all the capital expense to put this system in the ground, that they're benefiting from all those people paying all that money. So we need to come up with a reasonable number for that. The last thing I got on this part anyways is, from the Redwood Water, there's at least a half a dozen properties that have been connected to the water pretty much from day one, or very close to day one when that system was put in, that are not in the district. Have never been in the district. They paid for their water usage, they paid the cap, they paid for the O&M. But since how we redid how the cap portion of the bills goes onto the taxes, we send that to the county, but if you look at the tax rolls, it doesn't show them as being in a district. You know, it's just kind of a, you know, you could probably say, who cares, we're still getting the money, but we really need to put them in the district. And I'd rather not do an outside user. They're already connected, they're right against the existing district. It isn't like they're 1,000 feet down the road or anything like that.
Is it in the town of Alexandria or the town of Teresa?
No, they're all in the town of Alexandria. There's
Okay.
a number 6 road, all those houses on the right-hand side, they're not in the district, believe it or not, but they're all connected to the water.
Okay.
There's a few places like that. It's this anomaly, and Rob could
But up
probably,
until now, they've been paying as though they were.
right from day
So
one.
they haven't been getting something for nothing.
No.
So now it's a matter of amending the
Right.
boundary.
Yeah, so, like, I spoke to Rob before the meeting, we really need to talk to Andy Silver, how to legally do this, so we don't catch ourselves at some point in the future wishing we had done something different. Okay, there's that. I don't know if everybody recalls, last year, we went through created a local law to enable the town of Alexandria to break out the cap portion of everybody's water bills, the 5 water districts, to be put on your annual taxes. I don't know if you recall that? Okay, we wanna do the same thing for Redwood Sewer. Eventually gonna do the same thing for Route 12 Sewer, but this is a lot simpler. And so I drafted up using what we did before, for the water district except for Redwood Sewer. And ran it by our attorney, he looked it over, spoke to him this morning, he's okay with this. So what we need to do here is I need to introduce it, I don't know if I need to read it, and then we all, you know, talk about it, and then we gotta set up a public hearing. Now, there's a bunch of different things timelines wise, that we need to get this thing, approved before, like, the very first week of October, like October 3rd. So we can send all these numbers and properties to the county, so it ends up being in the next year's taxes. So coincidentally, if we set our public hearing for October 3rd, and we have to have a 7-day advertising period, so it actually works out perfect. We have our public hearing, people make their comments, whatever they're gonna do, and we address them, and we approve it on October 3rd. Everything will fit. So I don't know if everybody's wanted me to read this to you, or explain it to you, or just recalls what we did before?
It needs to be formally read and introduced.
Okay, want me to do that then, Brent?
Yep, it's short, do it.
Okay. It's ordinance number 1 of September 21, 2022 for the town of Alexandria. It's an ordinance amending the town of Alexandria sewer use ordinance for the Redwood Sewer District. Whereas the town of Alexandria adopted a sewer use ordinance governing the Redwood Sewer District on May 6, 1992. And whereas the town board of the town of Alexandria has determined that it is in the public interest to amend the Redwood Sewer District ordinance to call for a special assessment pursuant to New York Real Property Tax Law, Section 102-15, to create a charge imposed upon benefited real property in proportion to the benefit received by such property to defray the cost of the district's improvements or service. And whereas the state comptroller has concluded that such a special assessment must be imposed on all parcels within the district as being deemed benefited by the improvement, whether or not the parcel is utilizing this service, and whether the parcel is vacant or improved. And whereas the Redwood Sewer District is composed of parcels that either are connected to the sewer system or are unconnected to the district, even though the parcels are within the district and services are available. And whereas the town board acknowledges that some parcels located within the district may well be unbuildable, such that a special assessment should not be imposed. Now, therefore, be it ordained that the town board of the town of Alexandria hereby adopts the following amendments to the Redwood Sewer Use Ordinance. Article 2, definitions. The following definitions are hereby added to the list of definitions contained in the ordinance as amended. Benefit assessment. Each real property tax parcel in the district is deemed to be benefited by the sewer district, whether connected or not, and will be charged a special assessment as defined at section 102.15 of the real property tax law, as a charge imposed upon the benefited real property in proportion to the benefit received by such property with respect to retirement of debt on the capital costs incurred in constructing the facilities of the sewer district. Connected parcels. A parcel of real property located within the sewer district that is actually receiving service through the district facilities. Unconnected parcel. A parcel of real property located within the sewer district which is developable or buildable, but is vacant or otherwise not connected to the sewer district facilities. Unbuildable parcel. A parcel of land located within the district upon which no structure or facility may reasonably be constructed. Article 12, imposition of benefit assessment. Commencing with the fiscal year beginning on January 1st, 2023, each benefited parcel shall be assessed a benefit assessment, which benefit assessment is designed to defray the capital cost reduction expense established by the town board. A benefit assessment shall be payable based upon the parcel's type and related benefit as set forth in Exhibit A. And if you look at Exhibit A, the last page, each parcel within the sewer district shall be subject to the special assessment annually on its town tax bill in accordance with section 102.15 of the real property tax law. The special assessment is a charge imposed upon a beneficial real property to defray the costs of the improvement. The properties within the district will be broken down into the following units of benefit. Properties receiving sewer service will be 1 unit of benefit. Properties receiving not receiving service will be a 0.5 units of benefit. Properties unable to reasonably obtain sewer service will be a 0 units of benefit, i.e. parcels that are too small to build, swampland, etc. The benefit assessment of a particular parcel in any given year will be calculated by dividing that year's annual debt retirement using the retirement schedule from the previous August 31st and dividing that number by the total number of units of benefit, then multiplying the debt per benefit by that parcel's number of units of benefit. For example, the annual debt benefit divided by the total units of the benefit in the whole district times the number of units of benefit for that particular parcel. That will be your annual charge. And as it stands now, I believe the annual debt payment is what, just under 30,000, something like that?
No, last year, and I haven't seen a tentative budget for this year, but last year's budget, it was right around 18,000
Okay.
principal and interest. So it's relatively a small amount,
It's very
which is
small.
good. And right now, we've got 215 units. So depending on, I looked at prior years, and normally your debt retirement goes down a little bit each year. But for some reason in the sewer, if I was looking at it correctly, it actually has gone up a little bit. So I don't really understand that, and I haven't had time to get with Nicole. But if it were to be at 18,000 with 215, it's right around $86 that would be added to their taxes.
If you were a 1.
If you were, yeah. And nobody is greater than a 1.
No. It's 1, half, or 0. That's it.
How's the 215 compare to the current users number? Because the 215 includes people that are not connected, right?
Well, this is a new way of, we do it with the water. Currently, people that receive a bill are those that are actually connected.
Right.
This is everybody,
I
connected
understand
or
that, I'm
otherwise.
just saying, so 215 is everybody. You said about 215.
Or everybody connected.
Right. But
Well,
in
that
the
too.
old ordinance, this is where we got in trouble with the comptroller years ago. And this is what we're trying to fix, because the comptroller's report came out and said that if you are not receiving a benefit, you cannot be billed quarterly.
Right.
And our old ordinance we billed quarterly.
No, I
So
understand
some-
why we're doing it, I don't
Right,
have any
so-
problem with it.
So a lot of these people are getting billed something quarterly right now, so their quarterly bills will go away, and they will just get one bill on their annual, and then, you know, they won't be paying quarterly. That way, we're satisfying the comptrollers, so there's not a bunch of people that are gonna be coming on because of this. You know what I'm saying?
So if you have a vacant parcel of land in the district right now, are you paying anything right
No.
now?
Some of them are.
No.
'Cause I didn't think we were allowed
No,
to do
sewer
that
district,
because of
no,
what.
no.
this-
The ordinance says we can, the comptroller say we cannot.
I know, but I
But
thought
we
we
are not.
stopped doing that.
We did.
Okay. So my question is, we've got 215 including parcels that are not connected and vacant. That's the new number.
Well, it's 215 units,
I know.
but it isn't 215 parcels,
Right,
cause there are some
units.
halves in there.
But I guess my question is, how many, that number is a bigger number because of the vacant parcels
Yes.
that are being connected?
Yes.
How much bigger? Like ballpark, doesn't have to be exact.
Well, you can't really, do we compare it to like EDUs or what?
I thought it was an easy question, so I don't really want to
No,
drag
yeah.
it.
He's going from
And I-
215, are you going to
Was it
245, which would drop the total
Yeah,
cost per
was
year?
it 180 and it's going to 215, was it 190 and it's
No,
going
you
to
can't really do that, it
It's
doesn't really
not-
work that way.
There's not a large change. There's not a large change. There's only and I'm guessing, cause I have my books in the car, I can look it up later, but there's only about 15 to 20 halves in
Okay,
the whole district. So
So
you're not,
10,
maybe 10.
okay, it's not gonna be a huge.
It's not
No.
a huge amount,
Okay.
no.
No.
That's fine, I'm
No,
good.
but what it does is everybody's being treated fairly. You know,
Okay.
you have the ability to hook up, you show,
No, I got the whole concept, and I'm just curious what magnitude these other parcels coming on is gonna be.
okay, but so what we have to do tonight, is schedule a public hearing.
You need a motion for that?
For October
We actually
3rd.
probably need to
Motion to schedule.
I'm introducing it, so you guys need to
also
say.
set the public hearing.
He's introducing it, which is what we have to do tonight.
Right.
He just read it, he introduced it, and then we'll,
Vote on it.
Motion to do a public hearing, right?
Yeah.
Do you-
yeah.
Yeah, page 2. I think that page 2, it tells you have to have a first and a second to introduce, or you introduce, you have a first and a second, and then you have to do your public hearing. I believe is the way we did it a couple years ago.
So
I'll
I
second it.
introduce it, you guys, one of you guys.
So I'll second it.
Who first is it?
I'll be happy to, yeah.
Okay,
Mike Fayette introduced it.
Mike Fayette
Introduced it.
introduced it.
It says introduced by.
So does that count as
Introduced by,
making it, and you're just seconding
Yes,
the
I guess.
introduction?
I guess so.
Okay.
so you're seconding it,
Yep.
okay.
Okay,
Any further discussion? Well, we don't actually vote on this, it's just
No.
been,
okay, so,
Yeah.
it just stops at this stage and we do the,
so your motion is, we're going to.
Now we
have-
need to make a motion for a public hearing.
Okay,
yes,
all right.
Ronnie made that motion.
for the public hearing.
Yeah.
October 3rd, is it
October 3rd at what time?
6 o'clock?
Yeah, probably.
What is October 3rd at what, Wednesday?
That's a Monday.
That's a Monday.
I think it's a Monday. So that means like tomorrow, Brent's gonna see about getting it put in the paper. Cause we have 7 days.
Maybe he'll delegate to you to make sure it goes in the paper.
The problem here is that you can't call Watertown Times and get it in tomorrow's paper. They're about 3
Well-
days out, aren't they? Yeah, and that's what I was trying to tell you today on the phone. This isn't gonna be in tomorrow's paper.
Okay.
It won't be in Thursday's paper. We'd be lucky if it's in Friday's.
Okay,
Probably
but,
tonight, right?
Ronnie, you wanna have him do it? Is that what you're saying? Fine, that's what you wanna do,
Well, no,
that's
I'm
your
just
motion.
worried about you doing it, so it'd be just easier to have him do it.
Your call.
No,
Okay. So you think the best
worried
chance
about
of-
me doing it.
Wait, you think the best chance would be, it would end up on Friday's paper?
I hate to say,
Or,
because if you're gonna set the date, we're gonna have exactly the right
no, I
number of
need to
days.
know what, do you think it'll be, you don't think it'll be tomorrow, you think it could be Friday?
I would say so.
It might even be Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, they have a weekend edition that's, I think they still print on Saturday,
Okay.
don't they?
The reason why I'm saying, we have 7 days, so Which
If
count,
you're
you
not
could count,
doing this until October third, why can't it go in the TI Sun for Wednesday?
cause it's 7 days from when it's in the.
Date of advertisement.
That
TI
would be
Sun
seven.
comes
Can-
out on what day?
Can,
Why did,
can we
Comes
get
out
it
on
tomorrow's
Wednesday.
TI?
why does this have to be,
That's 8 days later.
You have till Monday.
be done in
right,
October?
or Sunday,
Because that's what the county needs to have it by, I think it's the first week in October, so it'll end up being next year's tax roll.
It's something I don't understand here, because our assessments, what are they called, the water
Re-levy?
sewer?
Re-levy.
Turn it over to the county, so,
Yeah. The,
re-levy.
it's, no, it's not, it's well,
But-
yeah, maybe it is.
I think.
Third week in October, it has to be into the county so it can go on the taxes, he's saying the first week in
Well,
October.
all I know is,
Well,
that's come up in our
They want the
conversation.
template.
if it goes in
All
the
that
paper on the
template.
26th, it's still 7 days before the 3rd.
They just want, they want the template so that they can get it imported and all that
Right.
stuff and get it
So,
done. But
we wanna get it to them as soon as
It'll
we
be fine.
possibly can.
I get that, but I'm just saying, if we ask the Watertown Times to publish it on the 26th, which is Monday, that's 7 days prior to the 3rd, which is a Monday.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't think
They're
you
not doing
can
Monday.
include the date of the advertisement or the date of,
So
you can't,
Saturday's gotta be Saturday.
you can't include the day on either, either the
okay.
day of the
No,
advertisement.
and Ronnie, this is the other thing too, cause I talked to the attorney, you can't count Sundays.
That I don't know.
No, that's what Silver said this
I heard him
morning.
say that.
Silver said that this
I heard him
morning.
say that on the phone,
So Saturday doesn't even work.
We can't count Sundays, you can count Saturdays.
it's like Chick-fil-A.
I asked him that specific question,
Okay.
so,
Can't count Sundays and you can't count the first day.
You can't count the day of the advertisement usually. Again, ask Silver, but.
Oh my god.
I-
So it's gotta go on Friday.
So you need 9 days after,
I mean,
you
we
can't
can
count
change
the
it
day
from
of
October
it.
3rd to
You can't
October
count the
4th.
Sunday,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
and that's 7
let's-
days.
The 2 Sundays.
if we get in this first week of October, I think we could probably
Oh, crap.
appeal to the county.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't
Friday,
get
it's gotta be
any
Friday.
further beyond that.
Yeah.
Saturday, Monday,
It's 9
Tuesday,
days.
Wednesday,
2
Thursday,
Sundays and a day of publication.
Saturday. It's gotta go on Friday.
Right.
He's saying we can go
Well, I'm just saying, I bet,
4th or 5th or something,
but
October 5th.
that first week is crucial, we can't go beyond that.
Okay. So we have it on the 4th? Just,
Do it on the 5th on Wednesday to make sure.
sure.
Okay,
What do you think, Sandy? 5th of October work?
perfect.
That's all I
4
need
o'clock
to
or
hear.
6 o'clock, or something in between.
What time?
well, we're gonna adjourn, are we gonna adjourn this meeting? I thought there was some talk of that,
Sure.
Yeah.
so I think it will fit right in with that.
Okay.
So 6?
There's a chamber, that fall business cruise, whatever.
That's a Wednesday. That's the 6th.
That's the 5th at
I won't be here.
6 o'clock. What?
I said I won't be here because I'm going to that.
Let's
So
make
you don't
it,
need to
let's
get-
make it at 4 o'clock.
Or 5 o'clock, I mean, this isn't gonna take very long.
Hmm?
Yeah,
I say that the vote doesn't
Do
leave
it
till
at
6.
Just do it at 4.
Yep.
yep, that forward, that,
Do it at 4 on the 5th.
Everyone
And
likes
then
that
we'll-
time better anyways.
And we're gonna adjourn the meeting till,
October 5th at 4 PM.
Yeah.
October 5th.
okay,
and we're gonna advertise the public hearing for that.
yes,
Okay.
All right.
for that day.
And Mike's gonna get all the Watertown Daily
Yeah.
Times,
He's gonna take, is he taking Jesse's spot or Brent's?
both.
Okay.
Oh, I missed that?
You're doing the advertising. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay?
okay, all right, so we're gonna have a motion that that's what we're doing, for set that day and time?
So we gotta have a
We just need a
motion to
motion to set a public hearing
Yeah.
for 4 PM on October 5th.
That's Ronnie's motion.
Right,
For the public hearing for this,
yes.
I'll
For
second that.
ordinance number
Second
1.
by Mike.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, can I back up a little bit? A lot of what Mike talked about, it was factual and just letting you know. The one thing that I think he was trying to say he wants your involvement in is the Indian River Lakes Conservatory, where they run in trouble with their septic and sewer and all that is in the spring. A motion would be really nice to allow them to go ahead and get connected, all at their cost. And then we will get, and later we'll just get the boundaries amended. When you're getting the boundaries amended for the water, just do them all together. But if we wait and get into the winter, they're not gonna be able to do this, and when they really need this is in the spring, so they need to do it now. But that needs to be a motion, if anybody wants to allow them in, without being technically in the thing, in the district. They're getting water, right? Right? That's your question. They're already getting water from us. They want the sewer. They've been asking for it for years, and everybody's done the normal, nothing. So a motion needs to be made to have Jamie go ask them, do you still wanna be in? If you do, you have our blessing, do it.
Well, what they need to do is get all the engineering, whatever necessary to make this connection, run it by you, make sure you're happy with it, it's gonna, or Jay, actually, in this case. Just like any other new connection.
Right. But the first step is for you guys to say, yes, you'll allow them in.
I'm just concerned that, if Mr. Silver would be okay with that. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Makes all the sense in the world, but,
That's,
where's the sewer line compared to their property line?
It's on the opposite side of the road.
So it's gotta go across the road?
Yeah, we either have to do a direct ditch, or we could, bore underneath the road. That would be up to them. Actually, it'd be up to Mike, you know, 'cause it concerns the highway.
It's a town road?
Yes.
as far as approving it, but they would have to do whatever is necessary to do it.
Yes.
And we would have to say yes or no.
Yes.
with
We
whatever they
got a meeting on
propose.
the fifth. I said, we've got a meeting on the fifth. In the past, town boards have done things without.
Okay, well then,
Okay, good.
at
Would be
least
still
this is
enough
a
time?
step. At least this is a step.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're willing to entertain it, but you wanna check with your lawyer, that's great. At least it's a step. I just don't want it to be left
Right.
at nobody doing anything at this point.
Well, at the same time, we can run by him the concept that we have water users outside district, and this is all kind of the same problem that needs to get resolved.
Because they're outside the water district, but they're getting water like the other six.
No, I'm not talking about them, I'm saying we have,
So the water district and the sewer district are not the same in that area.
no.
So we need to.
I'm just saying that we have the same kind of question, this is a sewer outside the
So we
district,
need to amend the water district for those six and amend the sewer district for this one.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I mean, the same question to run by, Silver, it's
Silver,
just
yeah.
the same thing,
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
So October fifth, on the new agenda?
Okay, all right, thank
Hopefully it
you.
didn't get too long.
Okay, thank you.
We should give him a heads up beforehand, so he has an answer that night.
Yeah.
Usually when it comes here, we get let you know next month,
Yeah.
so
Well, I can call him tomorrow.
There you go.
Same thing I did
Perfect.
today.
take out all the duties.
Mike, as far as Swan Bay with the car wash, we're not gonna charge them this quarter because they just come on, is that what the,
No, we go forward.
okay,
We're so close to the beginning of the next quarter, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Just-
He's gonna get charged for water usage,
I was gonna say.
no matter what. The only thing that he won't get charged was, the O and M, which is
When's the quarter, is it calendar?
October 1st,
Okay.
next week.
so we're just gonna charge them for the water?
Yep.
Just one of those ones.
Okay, parking lot local law, I talked to Andy about that, we'll wait till the next meeting to talk to him, but, everybody's heard a lot of the complaints we got about what's going on at the Goose Bay parking lot, we got complaints about what's going on at the Butterfield Lake dock, we got complaints about what's going on at the Crystal Lake dock, and all these complaints are about people using them that aren't permitted, or they're beyond the 3 days, or they're using overnight dockage at the dock, so we've talked about this for a couple of years, and the only thing that we can do is we can create local laws so that we can give people tickets, for the parking that we're talking about.
Who issues the ticket? Who issues the ticket?
Same person that issues, I mean, I'm just saying this, okay?
No,
This would be, according to the attorney, the same way that they issue parking tickets in the village of Alex Bay and they hire meter maids. I imagine we can appoint or hire or whatever we can do, because
On an as-needed basis.
it's the same type of ticket,
Yeah,
same type of process, and go through that.
it's never
Because
gonna get fixed.
that's the one thing that we've all talked about before, is we don't have a police department, we don't have a police officer, we don't have all that.
Right.
But they issue parking tickets, I'm sure there's a way that we can issue parking tickets.
You said Crystal Lake, where?
The town has a boat launch on Crystal Lake.
Has a boat launch and a small dock.
Clearly.
Okay, Clear Lake.
Yeah.
Clear.
What I say,
Yeah, okay.
Clearly.
Clear Lake has a dock?
Yes.
Right. Crystal has a ramp.
Crystal's not in town of Alexandria,
Right,
right?
that's town.
Crystals, them three.
Clear.
Okay.
Okay, I got it now.
Yeah, okay, good one.
Crystal
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Weatherproof container for the turf. Everybody saw the prices that I sent everybody. I called 3 other places today to get prices. I got one other price for $3,100 a year rental. No, they don't have any for sale, and they won't have any for sale for at least a year. And Matt was checking into a couple more today, because I told him I needed to have 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I had checked in regard, and apparently there's a shortage of these things. And so now they're holding on to them, to keep them for their rental fleets and stuff, whatever.
So you checked and there was no availability?
No, they don't, they've got some to sell, but not like they used to.
Same people?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So I guess the other question would be, I mean, they're tough, that's the nice thing about those things. They can take a lot of weight and stuff, as opposed to say a wooden building.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the number's higher than what I thought it was gonna be. And I don't know if that puts it into whether a wooden building would be the way to go, but there's not enough strength to it, so this is the way to go. I don't honestly know.
I think the biggest thing that we're concerned about here is it being waterproof, weatherproof, and sealed.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons that we steered away from the wooden buildings,
Okay.
like we have over here.
How long are these rolls?
14 foot
That'd be a big building.
wide. Yeah, they're 14 foot wide, then they roll up, what's the
How
rig,
long?
80 foot
I
across, or
thought they were 16 foot wide.
maybe they're 16 foot.
Yeah.
When that's.
So, I mean, I'm just
rolls
thinking
up,
of
how
the-
wide?
I'm just thinking. Oh, yeah, they roll out, they roll out from side to side on the ring, not
Right,
north,
but I
south,
mean, no,
east,
when you
west.
get a tight roll.
I'm just thinking of
Oh, no.
Right?
I'm just thinking of how they came.
3 to 4 foot
Tractor trailer, how we unloaded them.
3
They
to
were
4 foot?
3 to 4 foot.
In diameter.
diameter.
No,
Three to
how
4.
long is?
I answered that for
16.
you already, 14 to
16.
16.
Okay,
16.
Okay.
now I understand.
Okay,
14 feet long,
And we don't know how much they weigh, but they're heavy.
I gotta
They're
imagine.
very heavy.
okay.
We've already agreed to
I mean, a
hire
wood building,
them to
you
come
were talking
back.
about-
Forget
size
about,
building.
forget about the wood building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're gonna need space at either end of it, so it's not just,
The next issue, I can't remember if he told me or not, Matt, is actually getting into one of these. The guy uses a dingo. So, these, they don't sit flush with the ground, obviously, there's this
Mhm.
small lip. I think we're waiting to see if that dingo can handle that, if not, we'll have to
Make a ramp
build
to
some
it,
kind of,
yeah.
do they like roll up onto a pipe or something?
Yeah, similar to like, wrapping paper at Christmas time, just on
Or
a,
like carpet?
yeah, that's what it is,
So
really.
you could kinda hang it like a,
Then you'd have to create something.
I think it'd
hang
be
it
better
on.
than have them laying on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, that's, one of the issues is like, if you have any loose wrap, the next year when you unravel it, it's gonna be kinda wavy, so it's important to, they gotta be wrapped.
Which is why
on
we're
each
hiring
side.
the guy that installed it, to
Yeah.
take it out,
Alright.
Yeah.
make sure it's rolled properly and packed. properly. One of the things
I don't know if it's gonna fit. How tall are these? 8 foot,
7 foot.
7 foot?
Do you know how to
Okay, so if
dimension?
they're 7 foot,
There's at least 7 foot clearance inside.
So you're getting, 4 rolls in your first 16 feet. There's 13 rolls that I thought they brought to us.
Well, if it's 40 feet long, you could have a bunch and then another bunch.
Yeah, but if
They're not 14 feet wide.
3 times 14 is 42.
Yeah, it's not
It doesn't
working.
work.
Well, no, I'm just,
Three.
how many total rolls are we talking about here?
I think it's 13 or 14.
Okay.
And this,
You can only put 2 sets of them in.
you're at like 8.
Cause we weren't sure how we could stack them either. But when they came, they were stacked.
Yes. They're stacked, yeah. But they're also factory fresh wrapped and,
I think one of the things we better do is we better talk to him again.
you might be looking at 2 of these.
Might be looking
Yeah.
at 2 buildings, yeah. Yeah.
And then you probably gotta go to Lee in the village, right, and ask for a permit or,
Matt got his
Variance,
number
or-
from me the other day.
he did, okay. I don't know. Now you're at a real big number.
Yeah.
Might be back to the addition.
Can you rent a storage unit, like, bigger, does anybody have a storage unit?
I
Like,
thought
The ones
about-
across from the gals, like, are pretty big.
They are big, yeah.
You know, is there any place like that? I know what you gotta handle, but at least you got room.
The problem becomes how
nice to have
sealed
the
are those
transport.
things?
Handle them.
Well, the thing, and then you gotta transport.
That's the
I
other
mean,
one.
Yeah.
these things, they charge you to bring them in. They charge you up front to take it away on
Yeah.
your first bill. And then they charge you, say, $130, $140 a month.
So the price I got today was $500 to bring it in, $500 to take it out, $192 a month,
That's what they're up to.
$1,500. Well, I already said the 500,
Oh.
500, yeah.
But this is a purchase price, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we gotta look around a little bit more and figure out sizes and how many and the whole deal. We don't have all the answers right here to make a decision to buy whatever. The other thing that I thought
October
of
fence
is,
again.
a lot of your storage facilities
Yeah, we didn't
have
make a
the
decision
portable
on that,
storage
I know.
units. A lot of your storage facilities have, like,
What
the fitness
Gary's
center,
got, yeah.
the portable storage units.
Same issue.
What about getting
Need it.
can you get them in a, enclosed tractor trailer, like a 52-foot tractor trailer? Would they, you could get them all in a single 52, like Gilco sells those old refrigerated, 52-footers, you've got a tractor, right?
You got a Dave cab or something? We can get one, Teresa or somebody.
Yeah, well, Clayton's got a day cab, so you could get one of those, maybe.
Or think about it, I mean, we got a permanent need.
I bought one.
So
I've
if
got
we
one
rent,
It doesn't make sense.
no, but if we bought 2 of these and then eventually build an addition or something,
You
you can sell these things.
Yes.
Yeah,
They sure can.
yeah.
I don't think it was on the phone.
But
Yeah, I
Mike-
just got
Mike
the
could
rent
pull it, Buy
price.
2 of them.
I just got the rent price to show that how crazy.
Do we have enough
the
room
rent
to
is.
put 2 over there?
Do you know if you can you fit like, well, never mind. I was gonna say, can you fit 2 just straight up against that? Is it wide enough on the backside there?
I don't know about that.
There's asphalt.
I don't know about that.
Too wide? That's a good question.
I don't think.
That's not very wide back there.
I don't think you
Okay.
Can you come in from both ends?
No,
No.
from the far end, I know you can't come up that way.
Yeah.
I was just-
It's like a
It's really
pretty
steep.
good hill to get it. From the other side, from the parking lot side, is
Yeah.
a pretty good hill.
So
Can you stand them on
put
the
one
end?
container in, you fill it up with the thing, and then you get the other container?
Can you stand them on the end? Sling them and stand them up like you would a roof and roll, so you don't back
I don't think
with a
so.
low,
I mean-
sling them.
How much,
The guy that installed it, that we're hiring to come back, does it with a dingo. So I don't, he comes in with a single,
A bale spike like or something.
yeah.
those Gilco trailers you're talking about, we're talking about tractor trailer,
Yeah, it's a regular 52-footer, or,
how much do you think they would be?
I bought one a few years ago and they were $2,000,
Two?
Yeah, so what happens is the refrigerated units, they accumulate, the insulation gets heavy over time. And so they don't want them anymore, so they get rid of them.
But
the unrefrigerated ones,
they're pretty watertight.
oh yeah, they're as good as.
This is what I'm
container.
thinking is
They're up this high,
Yeah,
the load down height.
into it.
the village has a tanker truck a tanker with a,
Oh, they got tractors.
with a truck. That we could borrow that, buy that, just go over to the rink, put them all in, bring it up and just park it up at the transfer site.
You just need to load them with a lull with a bale spike or something, you know, put your first row in the back.
And then you could get the 3 rows.
Something you could reach in the tractor trailer with, you know, like put a 40-foot lull, any telehandler do it.
Trying to think of that thing, I don't know. Should be able to do it.
Weight-wise, yeah.
I know he stretches it, I really remember him telling me he's
Dingo?
got 1,200 pound capacity on that thing, and those are about 1,400.
On that skid steer?
That, yeah, they call it a dingo.
Oh, yeah.
It's
But you could get a telehandler and do the same.
Oh, that's the deal that had the wheels on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything he brought it in with is what he plans on taking it out with.
Yeah.
I talked to Legal's selling these trailers that aren't roadworthy anymore all the time for storage. You could still put it right out back. You could make a little gravel area probably out behind the rink, but is that where you're gonna put the containers?
Yeah, we were just talking about.
On the back
Yeah,
side.
across the back of the
It's an
rink.
idea, think about it.
Yeah. Well,
Have that information by October 5th?
we gotta get more information.
Yeah, call Lee, he's selling
And
them
then-
all the time.
Yeah,
And the newspaper ad as well.
that's yours.
Okay, well, I'll keep talking with Matt and Sean about it. See what we can find out, figure out. Short-term rental committee status. They have scheduled their first meeting for the 29th at 7 o'clock here. 11 members, I think 10 members are gonna be able to make the meeting. We got 1 member who can't make Thursdays, but I'm gonna talk to Stat Communications and see about streaming it. But only
Who can't make it, you know?
one of the 2 members of the Russ. Yeah. And can't make any Thursdays, wants to do a different day. But I wanna see if we can stream this system, so we can stream.
Are some of the members of this committee Florida residents in the wintertime?
I don't know, you'd have to look at the list, not that, I don't know.
No, that could be.
I mean, everybody's been in contact via email, we've had 2 or 3 communications between all of us, and everybody's been on board. So that's
Shouldn't be any problem using the system, should it?
right, but what I wanna do here is,
Just for,
I don't want the general public to be able to sit in on the meeting, we want the 11 members of the board to go back and use it to work with, or to help them, or to review, or to whatever. Just so it's there, so we have it. Do we wanna let
Why not?
well,
It's up to them, probably.
I mean, if people want, if somebody were to come in and wanna sit in and
yeah,
listen to the meeting over in the corner, why not? I mean, you don't want, I understand where they don't want a lot of talk back and forth, or
And actually, it's the people who are gonna be viewing it that are gonna have to deal with it, because as we all know, there's a lot of just plain talk that goes on, especially in the short term. This committee is gonna have a lot of talk going on. That's what's gonna be on our recording. So, it's fine to let
some of these committee members may not want,
exactly.
we might lose people.
Really?
Maybe so be it.
Yeah, really.
You guys welcome them, don't you? Water and sewer, you guys welcome
Yep.
If somebody wants to sit in
public,
and listen,
yeah,
Yeah, open to the meetings.
might as well make it the same.
It's looking boring, but
yeah,
welcome
I mean,
come.
the public's got a right to know what's going on.
What
Okay,
meeting is
so-
this that you guys are talking about?
Short-term rental committee.
Oh, Airbnb stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they'll have their first meeting and we'll talk about it at that,
Yeah.
okay? New Marine Residential Zoning Ordinance Committee status, that was something that I mentioned to you, Norris, is that this committee that we have to start and form to revise the ordinance for the marine residential. And that has nothing has happened, nothing has begun on that yet. The moratorium is passed, nothing has been started, no names, no nothing.
Just
We do have the,
names right at the moment. Just 3 names, you need to get 2 more.
That's just telling you where we're at. Resolution for tax cap override, that was one of the things that will have to be for a special meeting, because I asked to get that. I was hoping to have that today, but I don't have it. And that's just a precautionary measure. If everybody remembers last year, we did the tax cap override. We got down to the nitty gritty and we didn't need to have the override, so we didn't enforce it. One of the things that can happen in tax caps, is that a fire department's budget for a district could cause us to go over. So we don't know all of our numbers as to whether we're gonna be over the tax cap or whether we're gonna be under, if I'm understanding it right. But I have heard, have seen when the fire district's budgets can affect the tax cap.
I know that in the past, sometimes it's misunderstood that the town intends to go over the 2%. That's not the case. It gives us the ability to do it after the fact, because otherwise, our hands are tied, and we've gotta stay under it.
Yep. Yeah.
And especially with the cost of everything going as crazy as it is, it's unfortunate that we're gonna contribute to that somewhat.
Yeah.
People's,
I mean,
bills going up.
just for example, one of our heating line items that we were talking about in the budget session was over by, I believe, $13,000 we had to do. So Ronnie says the costs are going up, so that's where we're at with the tax cap. Okay, the junk law.
So is that gonna be October 5th, the tax cap?
Yes.
Good thing we're looking for it.
As long as, Attorney Silver has it put together for us.
That should be pretty, yeah, boilerplate.
Town of Alexandria junk law, I think everybody's got it in front of them. This is a local law, this is the new junk law that Attorney Silver's come up with. If everybody's in agreement, I'd say we read this and present this local law tonight and advertise it and set a public hearing. And after we present it, this is like the one we did a little while ago, it can obviously still be changed.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna read the headings unless somebody thinks they have to read, unless somebody thinks they have to read the whole thing, that'd be good. Local law shall be known as the junk storage law, local law regulating junk storage in the town of Alexandria, and is hereby adopted pursuant to the authority granted the town of Alexandria, section 10 of the municipal home rule law and of the town of Alexandria town law. Being enacted by the town council of the town of Alexandria as follows: the code of the town of Alexandria shall be amended to add the following. Chapter 12, junk storage. 12-1, title. 12-2, statement of purpose and findings. 12-3, applicability. 12-4, definitions. Under definitions, bathroom fixtures, enforcement officer, garbage, junk, junk appliance, junk furniture, junk mobile home, junk motor vehicle. Motor vehicle, outdoor storage, person, rubbish, clutter, litter, and debris. These are all definitions. Now we go to 12-5, prohibited acts. 12-6, exclusions. Now we go to 12-7, administration and enforcement. A, B, complaints. C, notice to comply. D, service of the notice to comply. E, content of the notice to comply. 12-8, penalties and remedies. 12-9, public hearing if requested. 12-10, purpose of hearing determination. 12-11, severability, and 12-12, effective date. So this is the local law that he's put together for us that we're presenting. It'll give everybody time to, I've been through this twice, everybody time to look at it, see if we need any changes. I gave a copy of it to Norris today, he's reviewing it with his people. So we present it tonight, and we set a public hearing, and we'll do it the same as the last one.
October 5th?
October 5th. Except this one, we probably gotta call it 4:05 PM. right, you got
Oh,
times.
immediately follow the
Immediate,
preceding one.
yeah,
And we
follow,
have to
yeah.
sit around, yeah.
Brent, one thing I did notice in this, and then I thought of it today when I received a phone call. A person complained about a place where there was a lot of toys, kids' toys, that long. And there's a section in this law where it excludes certain things, and I think we ought to put the toys in there, because kids have got to have the toys. And we have had complaints from people because their next door neighbors got their kids' toys all over their lawn, but, you know, maybe I'm dreaming on it, but I just think that that should be in there.
Okay. Well, if there's some things we should change or add or delete.
Well, the toys, I'm just thinking, it talks about condition, I think it's more the condition of what's out there than what's out there. Cause you say like worn out or discarded material, you know, abandoned, discarded, irreparably damaged furniture. I'm just wondering if children's toys, if they don't fit one of these definitions, they'd be okay, I would think.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned about changing some of this prior to.
That would, where I'm talking, it would be is under exclusions,
Exclusions?
12-6.
What section is that?
12-6.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
See, it doesn't have any quantities here, not that you wanna put quantities in for furniture, but
Right.
lawn, yard, and garden implements.
The thing is, lawn and patio furniture are usually put out and then they stay out. And other things are usually taken out, used, and put back away, you know? Oh, I don't wanna get into micromanaging somebody.
I think when,
Who's gonna enforce?
Norris, that's why yeah.
I think when Norris says toys and stuff like that, I think I know the property he's thinking of right now that's got 50 toys in the front yard.
Yeah,
Well-
you know, I don't know, do we have a right to say that a person can't have those toys in the lawn, you know? That's a question you could ask the attorney.
The thing is, this thing can be amended at any time.
Yep.
And this is what the attorney's recommending.
Yep.
If that becomes an issue, we could always amend it. I'm just trying to keep it as simple as we can to,
I mean, the
you know,
whole,
we don't have anything right now that we can enforce.
the whole key to this thing is to create something to have a document that we can enforce. That's
Right.
what this whole thing is about.
And the quicker we do that, the better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need a motion. Have we done a motion to set the public hearing date?
Nope.
Need a motion to set that public
Well,
hearing date?
you just introduced this by reading it, right? Somebody have to second it, that's what happened with Mike, so he read it.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we accept it.
Yep, and set the public hearing date?
And I'll make a motion to set the public hearing for October 5th to immediately follow the preceding public hearing.
That's your, I introduced it, that's your second?
No, that's what I'm.
He second.
He seconded your introduction.
Okay.
And I'm making a motion that we hold the public hearing on
Okay.
October 5th.
Second to his motion?
I'll second it.
Second by, and that's where we leave.
So I got both.
Yeah, I think so, that,
Any further discussion?
no,
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none.
right. And so the thing, after the public hearing, we don't need a introduction and second, cause you two have already done that.
Right.
Yeah.
We just vote.
Like we did
But
last.
to set it, we have to vote, yeah. So which brings up a question, did we vote on setting the first public hearing?
Yes.
No,
I thought we
I
did.
don't think we did.
No, I don't think we did.
Because Mike,
I introduced it, then we set the public hearing, but we didn't vote on it.
on doing the public hearing
For the first one.
for the first one.
Yeah.
And we can fix that right now.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go back and,
All in
delete
favor?
the.
I think I was the one that made the motion for the public hearing, and that was gonna be at 4 o'clock on October 5th.
Yeah.
And I think Sean seconded it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, I would say just go back and do it again.
right,
and
that's what I'm
we'll
saying,
vote.
so I make a motion
Yep.
that we, have a public hearing in regard to, what was it even now? It was the,
Expanding
The mud, Redwood
Redwood sewer
Sewer
ordinance.
District ordinance.
oh, okay, yeah. On October 5th at 4 PM.
That's your motion, Sean's gonna second it.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those
Okay.
opposed, none. Okay, 15. Highway Department, Mud Lake Shoreline, Mike and the guys have been down there working, I don't know if anybody's been over there, but it's a whole different place.
Yeah.
Real nice level, and
Yeah.
it's work in progress. Have you been there lately, Rob?
Not for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they opened the trail up, cleaned it up
Yeah.
nicely.
They're doing a great job.
Yep.
Highway Superintendent report. Got one I can have it? Sewer report. Got one right there, Sean? I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. On the first leg of the Bailey Settlement pipes and full recycling has been done, it will be surface treated in the next couple of weeks. Log Hill Road has been paved and will also be surface treated. Jefferson County paving crew is on Wells Island, and we are going to have them pave from Mug Creek Bridge to Westminster. The pipes and shoulder work is already completed. By doing this, we will be saving $6,000 to $8,000 in mobilization costs. Butterfield Lake Dock area and boat launch has been completed. We are obtaining permits for a platform to be installed alongside the boat ramp. The gazebo will then be installed and secured on this platform. The men are progressing well on the Mud Lake project. After Mud Lake, there are many projects that need to be finished before winter. They include hauling the rest of our winter sand, grading and trimming Hanai Road for winter, redoing the drainage and bus turnaround at Clear Lake, and continuing another leg on Door Road as people are starting to build several houses there. School buses will be traveling that road in the future, and this road will need to have year-round maintenance. Thank you, Mike Dills. That's the highway report. Abandoned roads discussion. I think you all have a piece of paper in front of you that has the legal restrictions for an abandoned road, of which Mike has put, is it 5 roads on that sheet that he wants to. Number 1, the driveway, by Matt Garlox and Murray Tates. Number 2, Rabbit Hill Road off Otter Street. Number 3, the end of the Barrett Road in Plessis. 4 is the alley in Redwood.
That's
that
Mill
is
Street.
not a town road that we've been taking care of for a long time, as far as I think just plowing, right?
It's Mill Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a town road.
Not a town road.
But it's Mill Street.
Yeah. And then Dammit Freddie Smith's, which is another private road that we've been taking care of forever.
So the 4 and 5 need
No,
any action?
no,
Okay.
no. I have an issue with the Rabbit Hill. I mean, these things have been plowed for forever, right? For a long time.
I can't imagine not doing that.
Yeah.
We need to do that. Does Murray Tate, and not that it makes a huge difference, does anybody live in that house year round?
I think she does. She did.
That's a hard one too.
She's got it up for sale right now.
What's that?
It's up for sale right now.
But what I would consider abandoned road, you know, if you're going on 192, where the big curve is at Bobby Dickhouse house, the town road used to go out and around. That should be abandoned. Because at some point in time, somebody could say, I'm gonna just develop some property over there, and it's not a town road, so the town's gotta bring that back into being. I would abandon that. none of these, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, the criteria, I mean, it's predicated on it's not being used.
2 times a day.
So, how, like, take Rabbit Hill.
Yeah.
That's being used on a regular basis, isn't it?
Sure is.
So how does it meet the criteria for abandonment?
In my opinion, it doesn't.
So then, that's an answer for that one. How about and who, like Matt Garlock and the Tate property, are those people coming to us saying, we'd like you to abandon this?
I can't imagine they would.
Not that I know.
Alright,
I don't even know what driveway this is. So you got Matt Garlock's place heading into Edgewood.
If you drive ahead going into Edwards to the right,
to the right, yeah.
Okay.
you know, Matt's house is there, there's
Like a
another,
lane that goes
Down
down.
towards
there's
the
two
creek.
places that people live in down that road.
So Charles Ridley lives in that one cabin, I think, right?
Well, that's on the other side of that field. So as you go by Matt's, literally,
Right past
right
it.
back, like,
Oh, okay.
Right
I may
past.
not be that
He's got a garage back there, down there.
But there's somebody that
And then she,
lives over
Mrs.
top of
Tate,
the
whatever her
garage.
name is, lives down there in that house sometimes.
I don't see how it meets the abandonment as far as people are still using it. I mean,
Well, like right in,
This one on the end of Barrett Road is, he took me down there's nothing
well,
down
I'm
there.
talking about number 1 and number 2.
Yep,
so actual abandonment, there's 6 years pretty much that,
But
there's a
the
6-year
Bear Brook,
guideline, right? So
that's
it's
another-
been opened and worked on within 6 years, so that doesn't work.
yep.
Under that principle, I guess.
Now, the Bear Road one, we have no reason to have that. Now, Mill Street, do buses go down there and pick up kids?
No.
No, okay, just asking.
By more than 2 vehicles daily is under qualified abandonment, so I don't really see how any of these, besides the end of Barrett Road, would even qualify, right?
I agree.
I mean, they won't qualify, based on our feedback from the attorney.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone agrees with that or
Well,
not.
number 4 is already not a town road.
Yeah, we're not worried about 4 or
So we
5.
can't abandon what we don't have.
Yeah. 1 and 2, I don't think we can legally abandon.
Used.
And then I don't
Meet
know,
the criteria.
I don't know enough about that particular spot. I think this was explained to us at one time, there's one person that lives down there, right?
Where's that?
At Barrett Road.
I
No,
don't know if there's anybody that lives down there.
What's that?
there's more than that live down the barrel.
Okay, so,
But
this
the road
portion
you're
of,
talking about is what goes on further.
Right.
It's just a one-lane deal.
Right.
That's what he's talking about.
Right.
Am I right, Brent?
Yes.
yeah, so
Yeah, not the
it's
whole
an
length of it, just the
extension,
end
right?
of it.
I rode down it with Mike. The one thing that I said to Mike as we rode down this road that he wanted to abandon is the property on both sides. Who owns the property on both sides and what are they gonna do with it?
Well, it talks about it in here. If they have a right of way across it or whatever, they still have a right of way across it, that doesn't go away.
Does that road become theirs?
Yeah,
I think it goes to their property line,
Right.
yeah.
yeah, you gotta abandon it to somebody.
I guess the only thing that's left to do is just
I
make
mean, one of
sure
the
it
things
meets
I think
these
that Mike worries
requirements.
about here is that, and maybe Rob knows something about this in relation to town roads, is that a town road has to meet certain standards, doesn't it?
Right.
That's when you
Take a new town
initially,
road,
That's when
when you
you
take on a new
a
one.
new one, I mean, you've got a lot of town roads now that don't meet standards.
Well, right now, Door Road, he's bringing that up to town standards, right now.
Yeah.
So how is that,
But if you're already a town road, that's kinda on us.
no, but right, but I'm just saying, you're kinda making, or I guess, I'm trying to guess anyways, is you're saying that an existing road is not to town standards, as a reason to abandon it.
Well, if there's an existing road that's not town standards, it's not a town road, if somebody wants to give
Door
it to
Road
the
is
town.
not to
start
town
maintaining-
standards,
What's
we're
that?
currently making it to town standards,
I know, but it's already a town road, right?
okay?
We're maintaining our own
But this
thing.
Bear Brook, I'm not in favor of keeping this stand in of Bear Brook either, I've been down there, it's nothing,
Right.
but it's still a town road.
Right, but if it's not being used under abandonment, we can do it.
Yes. It seems to be the only applicable one,
Yeah.
I guess, from,
Well,
I don't know
you see, the
enough,
other
but
one-
from what
I don't
everyone's
either,
feedback is.
it's again, you go out 192 on the big curve at Bobby Dickhouse house, there's a town road that goes straight and comes back and eventually comes back to 192.
Is that what you're
should
talking
be
about on
abandoned.
here? Is
It's
it,
not on here, but
it's not
that,
part of the list,
I don't know why it's
so
not,
it's not
but
for tonight's discussion, anyway.
I know, but I'm just saying, if I was a highway superintendent, that one I would be abandoning for sure. I've driven it.
The key is nobody's using it, so nobody's gonna bitch if they're not using it.
No, but let's just say somebody decides to develop that property there and it's still a town road, then we would have to do something with it. But if we abandon it, we don't have to.
It's just like Mike was saying, and is one of the things that he wrote us, is some people are buying land and building houses on the Door Road.
Door road.
And they got kids, and it's gonna be school buses, it's gonna be the whole deal.
Right.
Yes, that's gonna go the whole length too.
Yeah.
That house there, way to the end of the road, the little door house, the tricky boy that owns that,
Dwayne,
Dwayne,
he's coming in to build there,
yep,
That's nice back there.
he told me,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's got a bridge you gotta go over.
that's right.
So the town is gonna be responsible for that bridge.
I mean, my thoughts here about this list in front of us is that when the only one I see to talk to Mike about and to think about here is number 3.
right.
Yeah, and there's two ways, I mean, the attorney's pretty specific, there's two ways
Right,
under law, right? One's actual abandonment, which
qualified.
I'm not sure if, I don't know if we have enough information to do that. It seems like the safe way is to go through qualified, that would be a public hearing, it looks like, right? 20 days written notice to the owners and occupants of the land.
Because it says, moreover, it must also appear to the superintendent of highways of the county in which such town is located that a qualified abandonment of such highway is proper and will not cause injustice or hardship to the owner or occupant of any lands adjoining such highway.
Yeah,
So they're gonna be notified, and they would come to the public hearing, and
Yep.
so the county highway superintendent would be involved. So I guess it's a matter of,
so I
somebody's
think
gotta determine whether it meets that criteria as far as use.
that's what my concern
That's the first
is,
hurdle.
it seems like the first two, we know.
Right, I don't know
Don't
about the
need
third,
that.
right.
The third one sounds like it's up for discussion, so, you know, we could probably make a motion. Would you notify the county first? I think, I didn't read the first part of that, I heard you reading it, but.
The Barrett Road one, the ending, is that the one where there's like, there's a pipe underneath the road, and they kinda work on with the beavers and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
No, that's not a road,
That's not the one?
no.
Okay.
I don't think so, I know.
No, I thought it was.
I thought it was too, 'cause I went with Jerry riding around, and does this one come to pavement ends, and it's just like 2 tire tracks?
It's that road, I'm pretty
You
sure.
go past the flat rock and turn right
Yeah,
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 on 26.
but I know Jerry, and probably even after Jerry, before Jerry, they go down there on a regular basis and take care of the beaver problem. So it's like, it's not like it has not been worked on in the last 6 years, they work on it all the time.
this is not a whole road though, it's just the extension.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So
We need to talk to the county highway superintendent, because this whole qualified abandonment is a county deal.
Yep.
He's already given Mike his blessing.
Oh, he did?
Okay.
Well, that's good, then we just need to have a public hearing.
Yeah.
I think Norris has to notify
I think
the,
it's the county, because it says, since the hearing is before a county superintendent, the burden of assembling the names of adjoining owners and occupants and the expense of giving them notice of the proposed abandonment of a town highway
okay.
must fall on the county and not on the town. So this is a county deal,
yeah,
so if he's given the blessing, have at it.
Yeah.
notify him, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
tell him if he's good with number 3, we're good with number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. Youth program, do we have a report from that? You got something, anything, Sean?
Oh, yeah. and Nikki have prepped this. The Town of Alexandria Youth Program is currently holding co-ed fall soccer for 3 different age groups. Grades K through 1, 2 through 3, and 4 through 6. All practices are currently being held at the Town Rec Center on the new indoor turf. Grade K1 team is being coached by Brittany Cole and Beth Getner. Current enrollment's at 20 participants. Practices are Wednesdays, 4:30 to 5:30. Grades 2 through 3 team is being coached by Courtney Thomas. The current enrollment is 18 participants. Practices are Mondays and Wednesdays, 2:45 to 3:45. Grades 4 through 6 is being coached by Matt Chase. Current enrollment is 23 participants. Practices are Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2:45 to 3:45. Planning is underway for the 22 youth basketball season, and I would add to that there's not much planning going on because we don't have a place to play with the current gymnasium project going, so finding and securing a basketball court for the program's a bit of a priority. I think we're going to reach out to the Reformed Church for our own purposes, but the problem is we can't play games there. So we're working on some things there, and one of the ideas I think might be contacting LaFargeville and seeing if that's a possibility.
For games?
For games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so updates to come on that. New organization and record system has been created for all the youth program inventory, which includes uniforms, equipment, supplies, new inventory checklists, and research has also been ongoing for some alternative competitive leagues and teams for our actual teams to participate with. I know this Saturday there's a open tryout actually down on the turf, which all the kids within our system have been sent invites, so the turf's turned out to be a pretty cool thing, and it's really having a positive effect on enrollment. Coaching, you get a little bit of different feedback on coaching time slots. School getting out at 2:45 makes it really nice when our practices are at 2:45 because it's right from school into the turf, so it's been nice for that, so pretty good.
Okay, thank you.
What's the high school doing for their basketball?
I don't know, I heard they're going to LaFargeville as well.
Are they?
Actually, the last I heard, there's a few options. The other is it Case Middle School? Or Gardino?
Oh, yeah.
Clayton.
Yeah, that used to be the high school gym for Clayton.
Yeah, so last I heard, they were floating a couple possibilities there, but I'm not for sure on that right now. That's a problem. I mean,
Okay. Jamie?
So in DPW, we've been over to Plessis at the Yellow House. We took a 20-yard dumpster out of there, nothing but garbage. We've done some mowing. We mowed the front, behind the house is all trees and rocks, and can't really do anything there. So, and
Gotten quite a few calls from people in Plessis that are really happy about the
yeah, it looks
cleanup we've done.
Yeah.
A lot of calls.
Just getting the garbage out of there was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Bring a 20-yard dumpster. Very full.
Looks a lot better.
Yeah. And that's about all I got for the DPW, because I wrote up a report and left it right in my office. So, but Jay, he'll fill in on it, so. Good,
we're good.
Yeah, you're good?
good.
Auctions International, I kinda wanted to see, Jamie, if you've done this Auctions International before, right?
Yeah.
We've got some things that we've been talking about for 6 months that we have not done anything with. So it'd be nice to put the 2 or 3 items that we talked about on Auctions International. I think the board's already given it the blessing. We have to declare it,
Call them and they'll send a guy down, he'll take pictures and write up everything and put it on for us.
so we have the trailer at the highway barn, we have your old truck.
No, my truck's
I
gone.
mean, what do we have for vehicles then?
Well, we got the old rank truck,
Yeah.
I think that was an 808 Ford. I don't know what we were gonna do about, if we wanna put that side mower on that we're using now at the stables. I don't know what we're gonna do there, we talked about doing the 1-ton, that 2017 1-ton,
Have you heard anything on that yet?
not a word.
He had to replace the other manifold. Well, let's just,
I mean, we can get a list together and I'll get with Mike.
let's just do a couple things that we've talked about right now, which is the old rink truck and the trailer.
Okay,
The 1-ton, that decision's gotta be made by the board and at a budget session, when we decide what we're doing with trucks. Is those are the only two things you can think of? The Zamboni we
yeah.
keep for parts?
Yeah, we might better keep it around.
Yeah, we need to keep
You're not gonna get anything out of it.
Okay, so we'll put those two things
Yeah,
on.
like I said, I'll get with Mike and see what he wants to do.
Okay, so we got the rink truck, the old rink truck, and the highway trailer.
So that's kinda ties into number 22.
Yeah, number 22 is just that everybody had talked about replacing that rink truck, and I think in October is the date we were given that we can order.
Yeah.
So we'll try to move forward on that once we get to October, once we get to the date that Taylor said we can order. And I've also been in touch with Van Bortle for state bid.
Yeah, they wouldn't even try to give a price right now, so.
And as far as the old truck, I say we'll figure that one out at budget session, what we're gonna do, with the old truck. My recommendation is get rid of it.
Well, you said you drove it around, you know, it's not worth it.
Redwood Historical. Everybody got that letter from the Redwood Historical? They have a couple of roof quotes of $36,000 and $28,000. Any thoughts on this?
There's no
they
more
mentioned-
ARPA money, right?
Yeah.
$6,100 left in ARPA money. Any thoughts or comments on this request? The one thing that when I was thinking about this request and thinking about the ARPA money and thinking about where we stand, we're probably gonna put $3,000 or $4,000 into the 3 Redwood signs that are through the historical.
Yeah.
That's the Historical Society's come up with this deal. You've all seen the rendition and all that, so that's just for things that we're doing with the Historical Society.
That's already been approved and they're ordered, right? Those signs, aren't those signs already approved and we already deal with that?
Yeah.
That was a few months ago.
Mhm.
That was a few months ago we did that.
Yeah. But I was just saying that because of, I've been going to the meetings and I've said to them that maybe we can help with this or maybe we can help with that, but this sign project is a pretty good project.
Yeah.
And it'll be nice when it's done. Anybody have any thoughts on this roof? We fund them every year, I think this year.
What do we give them?
4,000.
And that 4,000 is going towards the signs, or the 4,000 and additional are the signs?
The 4,000 is just to them, it's not, nothing to do with the signs.
That's the same as what we give the Cornwall Brothers, right?
Yeah,
Alexandria.
we do it equal,
Right.
yes.
they're similar, right? Entities essentially are similar
Yeah.
functions,
The two
so
historicals,
you put a
yes.
new roof on Redwood,
Oh, yeah.
might be putting a new roof on.
Right.
I mean, I get it, we had already, you know, there was government money, but
Yeah.
there's not anymore.
No.
Cause I know that I'm on the board, full disclosure, I'm on the board at the Cornwall, Alexandria Township Historical Society, whatever it's called. It's not Town Alexandria, it's Alexandria Township, they're very backwards. And they have some issues that they're going to be addressing with the roof area, I think it's the soffits. So, I don't know if you want to split it, and, cause we've been treating them both the same.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've got some roof issues there also. They haven't asked, and they have, but I'm just, how do you do one and not the other, and, you know, I don't know.
I just think with our situation right now, we're working on a budget, our ARPA money, where we stand with that, I don't see where we're able to do anything at this stage. We give them $4,000 every year, or not, I mean, that's what we funded them with this year. And we're going to put the signs, the redwood signs, that has been a project that's come from the Historical Society. And that's all I can think of that we're doing right now with them. So we have no answer for that at this stage. The truck deal is, that's a budget session, we'll figure out what we're gonna do there. I just wanted to kind of make sure everybody was on board to replace that truck, as we've talked about. Water report.
So, in the water department, we've been doing my monthly, weekly, and daily, inspections and stuff. The biggest thing is, we found a water leak on Route 12. It's been repaired. We've cut our water loss in half. There's still one more out there, so hopefully we can find it here. But I've had, rural water, he's come and sounded it, and he couldn't find anything either, so.
How'd you find the one?
Luckily, we were out with a guy from Rural Water, and we were checking all the swampy areas. Had him listen to it, and we were up to Swan Bay, and we were walking over there and happened to step just before we got into the swamp. Yep, we followed it back, and it was actually leaking right in front of where their master meter was.
Yeah.
But it was just traveling underground.
Sponged it up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
So everything else was dry, and you found it because it was wet?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, and we took a probe and stuck it in the ground and come out just like a garden hose.
Yeah.
We kinda figured where the connection was. That's how we found it, so it's just luck of the draw. A lot of these leaks are, I mean, unless there's, 100,000 gallons coming out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that
That's a steady leak then.
something that you said may have been happening for a while?
Oh, yeah, we've been searching for it.
Probably when the original installation just got progressively worse.
Yep, so, on the repair, we tried just tightening it up, and we sat there for 10 minutes and it started dripping again. Said, you know what?
Got it.
Cut it and let's do it right, so.
Compression.
Good job.
What's that?
Good job.
Compression.
Yeah, some, stuff tools, ECD, high max clamp on it.
On the outside of the
Yes, yeah.
That's what it's doing.
I'm looking for sewer report. Got the next one over there, Sean? Did all sewer report, did all daily, monthly, and regular duties, testing reports, helped repair a leak at Swan Bay water main, changed 2 sewer pumps. Jamie and I cleaned up the house in Plessis.
Yes.
Did everything in a 30-yard dumpster, then we mowed with the tractor, we put conveyor and weed boat in the storage building at Bonnycastle.
So that's done for the year?
Yeah.
Be a nice bill to see go away.
What's that?
Be a nice bill to see go away.
Yeah. I had stewards come to the final preparations for the new UV lights. They will be installed in mid-October. Helped in the water department as needed. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, to that is, one of our last meetings there, talking a lot with Jay is, Redwood Sewer Plant was put in place in 1992, and we're about 30 years into it. To date, they have replaced basically 50% of the 200 plus, pumps. You know, they try to keep, repair them, so what I'm driving at is, there's 100 left that are 30 years old. And what has happened is, over time, the failure of the pumps are basically accelerating. It was a few, and it's gotta be more and more and more and more. The other negative aspect of it, these pumps cost more than they used to as well. So, we are looking at the end of the life of about 100 pumps.
Quick, yeah.
Okay. Resolution to order the resurfacer, which I think we've probably done about 2 or 3 times.
6 or 7.
And we're on hold due to the money.
Well, we finally got somebody to say something.
Yeah.
I read that both ways. In the beginning of what he wrote, he said it's fine, and then later on,
Seemed a little contradictory, his response.
I must have stopped when I saw what I liked.
Yeah, because the next
I was gonna say,
2 sentences later, I
bottom
don't
of the
think he
next
would've.
paragraph is no guarantees.
That's just a disclaimer they throw on anything that states above.
Well, you're talking
I
about
think.
the fact that the state may not give us the money, period. Yeah, well, I think that's a problem all along. I guess if they said, if they change their mind, in other words. I was concerned about us doing something to jeopardize it if they didn't change their mind.
And he said that you wouldn't be jeopardizing it.
Right. So I'm fine with that.
So we need to.
And it's not a matter of if we need it, don't need it, we need it.
Yes.
Yeah. So as long as we don't jeopardize it.
So I think
the risk of the state saying no, I think has existed from day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other crazy thing is, even if we didn't have this grant out there, we'd still need to buy one.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
So, I mean.
Right. Ronnie was
You
just
wanna make-
concerned that.
You wanna make the motion?
I'd love it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion
I'll second.
to move forward with the
To order
order.
the,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
okay, any further discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quick one.
September 21st.
Order it.
EDU change protocol for communication to the bookkeeper. This is, we talked about a little bit earlier.
Right.
I talked to Sandy a little bit about it, and Mike, we gotta come up with a system here.
Well, do you like how I did it tonight?
Yeah, but
It's fine. That's fine.
we just have to have a system to make sure we follow it. for
Well,
everything.
that's what I was proposed to do,
Okay.
is.
Just
we
throw
just
them in the
talked
minutes.
about- Yes.
You're just getting them in the minutes.
No,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
I think that's just the safest way all the way around.
Status report, village streetscape expenses to date. I'm just curious as to where Nicole stood with that, if she is, and I don't know the answer to that.
When are they scheduled to wrap up all their work?
Well, there's a problem now, another problem. And the problem is that they've finished the Holland Street boat ramp.
Okay?
They're getting ready to start the Crosman Street boat ramp. And a lot of people have said to them not to close the Crosman Street boat ramp till after Columbus Day.
Yeah, 'cause I pulled my boat because that was one of the reasons I wanted to be sure.
At Crosman Street?
Yep.
And it was fine?
Yep. Oh, Doc, it was all I could do to get out of my boat to get up onto that thing.
At Crosman Street?
Yeah, water level was so low.
But Holland Street
gotta be
is open, finished?
It's open, I think. Is it not?
Or there's like a berm at the end of it?
You couldn't put a boat in the water, huh? There's no water.
Well, that's the only reason why, right? I mean, is there blockade up there?
I mean,
No,
I've called the engineer 3 times. He finally called me back. I said, you need to come up here, we need to meet, we need to talk about this. The incline going up that ramp, has anybody been over there and seen this thing?
I heard the angle's insane, right? I mean, how are,
I wanna take you down there, Rob, and I wanna do some measurements, because we can measure here and we can measure 10 feet away, and we can figure out what that slope is. Cause I'm telling you what, we can.
you weren't involved on that, huh, Rob?
No, he wasn't.
He says engineering, he's not talking about it.
We talked about that a lot, and they assured us that was not gonna be the case, because
I've
the ramp was
heard
so
also,
long.
well, the other thing is, if you look just from the road, those docks, how high they are off, they're high too. They are very high.
Wicked. But
The fixed dock.
I just wanna get a hold of
It's
them.
crazy.
They
I
are
just wanna
high.
get a hold of them and say something and get somebody up here, because before they tear that ramp apart, do the same thing there and put the same incline on that.
Yeah.
Really be in trouble, you know? I'd like to meet you down there tomorrow, if we could.
Okay.
So you got the ramp, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, at the end of the ramp, where the concrete ends,
Yeah.
and there's just river bottom,
Yeah.
They don't,
is the river bottom higher than the end of the ramp?
Yes,
yeah.
Cause that's what I heard.
yes.
Is there a reason why that wasn't?
And let me tell you one more thing that I haven't taken my shoes or boots off and gone in the water to find out yet, but I'm gonna, because it's driving me crazy, is the concrete ramp that they put in ends within 2 feet of the water.
It's, in other words, 2 feet.
You're gonna go off the ramp,
Yeah.
unless they've got stones piled on top of that concrete, unless they've got
Well, that's
number
what
3 stone.
that's what it would call for, right? But it doesn't.
There ain't no rocks out there.
Yeah, that's, would you pull a boat there?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You couldn't, you,
Couldn't.
there's no way you could pull a boat,
Brand new.
no way. Pam's not here, she wanted her writing that in the paper.
Okay.
Well, so anyways, I'm trying to get Charles Pryor or get somebody here, and I'd like to go down there and look at that with you. So, okay.
I'm around tomorrow.
Yep.
I sent you a Facebook, post on a 53-foot trailer for $2,500, a tractor trailer.
I saw, okay.
Looked pretty good. I mean, I texted Lee Gill too while I was sitting here, and he's gonna see if he has it.
Okay.
Well, if you get that to Matt Chase to get with the guy from Turf Greens, or the guy who's doing it,
Okay.
be a good idea to make sure he can actually put it up and in there and.
Yeah.
If he could just bring them all, we can get a telehandler. Yeah.
Okay.
I got to tell him, but I
I
can
have
bring
it
it down.
down,
Yeah.
it's got one.
Yeah.
It's too bad you didn't have something.
I don't know.
Why?
What's a telehandler anyways?
A telescopic forklift.
Oh, that's
You
what-
lift 40 feet out, 40
Yeah.
feet up.
You can stretch it right out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a 42 footer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Budget work session, so we're tomorrow from 3 to 6:30, and we're next Wednesday and Thursday from 3 to 6:30, is everybody okay with that?
Can you say that again?
Tomorrow from 3 to 6:30, and next Wednesday and Thursday from 3 to 6:30.
Yeah, I'll be late tomorrow,
Okay.
but I'll be there at some point.
Yep,
Wednesday and Thursday next week.
yep.
Big old cat. But works for the day. It'll take 8,000.
Okay. Make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
One
So,
minor thing here, just like this copy right here, copier companies, okay?
charge it?
We get charged for a black and white copy, $0.015, maybe, it might be up higher than that now, maybe 2 cents. We get charged like 8 or 9 cents for a color copy. All it takes is that much color, and this whole thing is considered
8 times more expensive.
6 or 7 times more expensive.
Wow.
So,
Same thing in my office.
yeah, so it drives me nuts.
It's not allowed in my office, actually, we don't have.
So if you printed a full color picture here,
Yeah.
same
as
cost
that.
as this.
Yep.
And so we try to, like with ours, always print in black and white.
Yes.
if there's some way to make it so you gotta override it for color
Yeah.
instead of the default, it's just, because otherwise it's just gonna
So on,
take,
on what you have, can you make it so it always,
on each computer.
Each computer,
Yeah.
you can default it,
Right,
or if you're not savvy enough, just hit your drop down and hit black and
it's a
white.
pain in the neck to have to do it
It
every
is a
single
pain, you should
time.
just set it as your default.
Yeah, and then if you want it in color,
Cut it off.
override
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
that's interesting. Yep. Okay,
And as far as, is this something that we need to go in executive session for, or?
Yes, I think so. It says confidential on it.
Right.
You know what, just email that, I'll put down there.
I mean,
yeah,
it'll take.
that's what I had for the executive session.
Okay, so I'll make a
So, we
motion,
need a motion to go into executive session for discussion of litigation and about a purchase offer.
okay, I'll make that
Motion
motion.
by Ronnie, second by Sean.
Yep.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
And that's at 8:06.
But you should be able to roll back on that, right? Sure, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Ooh, I don't know.
So, I shut my computer out and I.
I probably stopped recording at some point, Brett.
What's that?